Headlines Today has accessed a private email from Tarun Tejpal to the victim he allegedly molested twice in Goa, which was sent shortly before his public apology. We are editing out portions of this email that we believe do not serve the public interest, as well as to protect the identity of the victim and her friends. In his email, Tejpal said, and I quote, "The context, that ill-fated evening of our conversation, as you will recall, was heavily loaded. We were playfully and flirtatiously talking. It was in this frivolous, laughing mood that the encounter took place. I had no idea that you were upset or felt I had been even remotely non-consensual. Until at this point we are withholding the name of the victim came and spoke to me the next night. I was shocked and devastated at that time. You have made it clear that I had read it all wrong, and I will not dispute it, nor underplay your anger and hurt." Jaskirat is also with us. Jaskirat, quite ironic that here is Tarun Tejpal, who in court, in his bail application, in his anticipatory bail application, his petition, and also the argument that has been put forth by his counsel, very clearly saying, discrediting the victim. But here he is admitting to what exactly happened on that occasion.
Well, that's right. There's a complete contradiction as far as his emails are concerned and what he's written in the petition. If I can just, in response to his email details that just come out with one line in that petition, which really stands out, is he called the allegations as an afterthought and a motivated allegation. But what we have actually coming out right now are all the details of the response that the victim had sent to Tarun Tejpal as a result of this first email, to the contention of his, where he stated that I am sorry that about the interpretation that you took it in, if you took it so harshly. She responds that she clearly resisted. She said no, there was no consent, and even despite that, there was still a move from Tarun Tejpal, which was clearly uncalled for and which was crossing the line. And that is where the line was crossed, when he did not get the meaning of the word no. Now, she also says in her response that what he did was not just a disappointment and breaking the trust of her alone, but also that of all the Tehelka employees, that he broke the trust of all the Tehelka employees. And she expressed surprise at the fact that he commissioned her for stories with regards to violence against women, with regards to rape, and also with regards to the beast within a man. What comes out, in fact, was one of the story ideas that she referred to, which was actually suggested by Tarun Tejpal himself. So the irony is not lost over here in the email that was sent from Tarun Tejpal, as well as the responses that came out from the victim.
The irony and the contradiction. To our viewers at this point, let's just tell you that this is the first email that Tarun Tejpal had sent, and I quote from that email, certain parts have been edited out of public interest and also to safeguard the identity of the victim in this case. The context, that ill-fated evening, Tarun Tejpal writes in that email, of our conversation, as you will recall, was heavily loaded. We were playfully and flirtatiously talking. It was in this frivolous, laughing mood that the encounter took place. I had no idea that you were upset or felt I had been even remotely non-consensual. Until, and we are withholding the name at this point, came and spoke to me the next night. I was shocked and devastated at that time. You have made it clear that I read it all wrong, and I have not disputed. That's the underlined portion. I will not dispute it. Today, Tarun Tejpal is disputing that very fact, nor underplay your anger and hurt. And as things stand today, it is quite clear that Tarun Tejpal has not just made a U-turn, but is discrediting the victim. Just very quickly, we know that the Goa police has summoned Tarun Tejpal tomorrow. Earlier when I was speaking to you, you said technically the police might wait till the anticipatory bail hearing, which has now been deferred to Friday. Are we likely to see an arrest tomorrow if Tarun Tejpal doesn't appear in Goa?
Well, the first step, if Tarun Tejpal does not appear and go for the questioning, would be to issue a non-bailable warrant against him. But with regards to the execution of the warrant, it really is a matter of the prerogative of the Goa police. Now, speaking from experience and speaking from precedence, one can say that the executive authority, whether it's the central agency or the state police, usually waits for a court where an appeal is already pending to decide on that particular appeal before going in for a move. Now, it's only a matter of less than 36 hours before the High Court actually comes out with its decision on Tarun Tejpal's anticipatory bail plea. So it's really will play out after Tarun Tejpal shows whether or not he's turning up for questioning tomorrow, where we can figure out whether or not he will eventually be getting arrested in that time frame. Now, that is of course subject to the High Court's decision, which is expected on Friday.
Okay, Jaskira, thanks so much for that. Also, Vikas Mishra from Goa.